Good afternoon, everybody. How are we all doing today? This stream is proudly sponsored by Sipes Driveway Sealing. If you need your driveway sealed, call Sipes. How's everyone today? Hey Garth, hey Mike, hey Jay, hey Retro Techie, Ocelot, Adam, who was this here? Patrick. I think I saw Dave here, Alex. Sad Mac, of course Sad Mac's here. So hello, everybody. Yes, I know. It is looking like a clusterfuck back here. These boxes are going to be disappearing here, hopefully, today. So, um, I really got to clean this shithole up. It's really getting bad. I got shit everywhere. Uh, Problem is, I bring stuff home and it doesn't leave. It doesn't. I can bring stuff from storage and it doesn't go back to storage. So, yes, it's starting to look like Steve's basement, unfortunately. So, so sorry about the stream yesterday. I lost. We had some serious thunderstorms coming through here, surprisingly, and power went out for about. Well, I think it was about half an hour, 45 minutes. Um, so my phone was barely connecting to LTE, so I quick canceled the stream, and so I was kind of hoping that not too many people noticed because I didn't even announce it on Facebook. So yes, thank you. I'll get to the hat then. So I thought the hat was rather important. And I don't know why my camera is flickering. It's being a piece of shit. So let's switch to one that's not going to flicker. How's this fun? But then you don't have to view the big pile of shit behind me either. You just have to see my cleaning rag here. You had hundreds of people. Yeah, you probably had 5 people, Jay. Jackass. So, as everybody knows, I went to VCF East last weekend thanks to help from Steve and Sean. Of course, Steve from Mac 84 and Sean from Action Retro. Um, I wasn't actually, well, I mean, I was kind of intended to be there, but I wasn't really, it was kind of a running change. So, um, I was, I was invited to go. And of course, Sean and Steve took care of everything, so it didn't actually cost me anything to get in, which was very nice. And they gave me a little more money to blow on some other things, which, I have to admit, most of the stuff I'm going to show you, I didn't actually get from VCF. A lot of this actually came from Steve, and one machine actually came from a friend of Steve's who was actually going to donate the computer to the free pile. So I hate to say it, but a lot of this actually came from Steve. And I did not get a single Mac related item except for sort of one. Um, I got some Apple related items, but no like actual Mac items. So if you're looking for Mac stuff, this is going to be a slightly disappointing stream, and I apologize. So Steve did get me a really cool mouse pad, which truthfully I'm afraid to actually put on my desk and use because Lydia will probably knock it down and throw it in the garbage. So, apparently this was made by a local woman. in Jersey. That's kind of cool. So it has a teletype ASR 33 on it, which is really cool. So let's start with the smaller items that I got. So they had a consignment area. They didn't have a true just like swap meet area, and it was a consignment area. So what you did is you went in, you gave your items to the people working for VCF, and they would sell it for you. Now the downside is that they kept 15%, but the upside is that 15% goes directly to VCF, and it helps fund their museum and their shows and everything else. So it's actually a win-win. So, and unfortunately, I didn't see half the good stuff that was there, which really sucked. But I did get a couple of kind of cool things. So, but from every VCF has this free area where people just throw stuff they just want to get rid of. So I found some books, and this is an Apple II Disc 2 book, which is the installation manual and everything like that on how to install the Disc 2. And oh, there's an AMDEC. Oh, there's an AMDEC color display operating guide in here. I didn't even know that. I just now noticed that. Oh, that's kind of cool. So I got 2 for 1. So this was on the free pile. It's just a book. It shows you how to install the Disc 2 and everything like that. So I already know how to do that. I like collecting books. And then what's this? Oh, and then the other one I got was an 80-column text manual for the Apple IIe, which I already have the card, but I don't have any of the books. And apparently this came from a library because it has a library checkout slip here for a Gaylord machine. That's kind of cool. So, and this thing's in really good shape actually, except for the stickers and stamps. So, and then this one had another book inside I didn't even notice either. So, looks like this is probably the installation manual, maybe? Oh yeah, so this is the installation manual for the card. And it looks like this is the actual, like, how to use the card. Oh yeah, this is the actual, like, how to use the card manual. Well, that's kind of cool. So this actually tells you different things you can do with the card. Because there's actually, it's kind of complicated if you're programming for the Apple II to make use of the 80-column card, So I got those, just a couple of books. So on the Apple end of things, I also got this. This is kind of cool. I've never actually seen one of these before. So this is a Apple II memory expansion card. Okay, and yes, I did pay $20, and this actually was being sold by the Federation themselves. This actually was something they had several items throughout the day that were duplicates, extras, stuff that they needed to try to unload. It was probably stuff that was all donated to them. So this whole $20 went directly to the Federation. So I felt good buying this. So, but this is an Apple II memory expansion card. And not only is it in the box, it's not new. It has a warranty. And what the hell is this? This is a, Tell Apple card. Actually has a couple of those. I don't know why, but it does. Somebody couldn't count that day. Here is a packing list that you used to get in all your Apple boxes. It tells you exactly what's in the box. Here is the Apple II user's manual. So, and this is the installation and use of the card. Of course, it's in multiple languages because you can do all kinds of stuff with this card. And then the card itself. So this is just a bone stock 256K memory expansion, but with more memory on it, I can take it to 1 megabyte, which is pretty insane for an Apple IIe, or even a 2 Plus. And this will work in the 2 Plus as well. I'm not sure why I would want to use this in a 2 Plus, because the 2 Plus isn't really going to use this as efficiently as the 2e, but you know, there we go. So I have a memory expansion card I can throw in my Apple IIe. So, and you can do all kinds of stuff. You can use this as RAM. You can use it as a RAM disk. You know, all kinds of stuff. So we got that. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. Well, I have 128K in my Apple IIe right now, which is actually very sufficient to do just about anything. But the weird thing is the Apple IIe card that came with the Apple II, or I'm sorry, the Mac LCs and stuff like that, actually came stock with 256K, which is weird, because most software wasn't even designed to make use of 256K of memory on the Apple II. So, but, so this will give me 384K of memory to work with, which is a lot. Now, if you want to run Geos and stuff like that, then the memory will definitely come in handy. So, you know. You have 2 of those in a 2 Plus because you're insane. Well, that's cool. I mean, I don't think it's as, I mean, I'm sure it's, I mean, I know it's perfectly usable in a 2 Plus, but I don't really see why a lot of people would want to run something like that in a 2 Plus, just because of the 40 column text and stuff limitations and the limited software that'll run on a 2 Plus. But I mean, I'm sure it's quite useful in a 2 Plus if you use it like a RAM disk. Oh yes, yes, Geos, Apple II desktop, anything like that would definitely support that card, no problem. So, but I actually do want to buy the chips and max it out. So I can't imagine they're too terribly expensive. And of course, then again, I say that about everything. So, oh, I lied. I did get one Macintosh related item. Okay, I'm a lying SOB. So the VCF also had these little remote controls. I paid $2 each for these. These are the remotes for the iMac. And I've never had the remotes that actually go with any of my iMacs, so I bought one for the G5 and one for the Intel. And Steve, I think, bought 6 more. They had a huge box of them. They were all brand new. So, you got ProDOS booting from a 3.5-inch drive and an 80 column card. AppleWorks gets a meg, and I have a, there you go. And that's on a 2 Plus, Adam? Or on a 2E? Yes, I know they magnetically attach to the side of the iMac. Yeah, I actually, when I had my G5 prototype at the show, I actually took, that's why one of them's out of the plastic. Whoops. Like this one here is still in the plastic. But this one here I took out because I actually attached it to the side of the iMac. So, oh wow, that's pretty impressive. And you have 80 column text on your Apple II Plus. Wow. I might have to talk to you about how to do that. I know there's a there's ROM hacks and stuff you can use, but mine's a bone stock 2 Plus. I'd like to get one of those ROM X things that they make now for the 2 Plus, which would give me the different character sets, lowercase, of course ROM, all that stuff. Oh, the VidX card. Okay, I didn't know the VidX card worked on a 2 Plus. I don't know why I would assume it doesn't, but it's, yeah, okay, that would be one way to do it. I always forget about that. So, let's see here. Okay, we'll go into the one thing I did get that's sort of kind of Mac related. So I got this. It's just a DVD burner, but it's brand new. And this was also being sold by the VCF itself. So, and I actually bought it. I do have a purpose. I don't know if it's brand new or not, but it's looks brand new. I have a FireWire. I have a FireWire DVD burner on my Mac Pro, and the uh, the internal drive is dead. It's not working very good anymore. So, oh, here's a receipt. So here's a receipt from Staples. Wow, $50. And this was actually bought in New Jersey. So, yep. Well, it's real, and it's Memorex. So I bought this just to replace that drive. I mean, it's not like it's a real necessity. I have a Blu-ray burner inside the computer. Um, I mean, it still has the little screws in the bag and everything. So, um, but that's what I bought this for. And it's a LightScribe drive. I don't know why the hell I would need a LightScribe drive, because LightScribe discs are next to impossible to find anymore. But yeah, hey, what the fuck. So on to some cool stuff I did find that wasn't actually part of the swap meet. So I got a real Sound Blaster 16 ISA card. This is a CT4170, and I bought this for the AST Advantage. Um, this is a plug-and-play card, and it looks like it was a Dell card because it has a Dell part number on it. But it's only $20 for a genuine Sound Blaster. So I definitely wasn't passing that up. Oh, I'm sorry, this isn't a Sound Blaster, this is a Sound Blaster Vibra 16. So, but this should work fine in the AST. I have to download the drivers for it because it's going to need the commands and everything to set the IRQs and DMA ports and all that bullshit that you have to do with these things. But it is a straight up plug and play Sound Blaster. So I got that. And then also from the same gentleman who was actually on display in the same room as us, he also had this just a generic. I don't even know who makes this thing. I don't even know who made this thing. Let's get a knife here. Let's open this up. He had a whole bunch of ISA network cards of various kinds, and I just tried to pick one that I thought would be the best. And I thought this was a 3Com or something, but it looks like it's just a generic. It is like a super generic network card. It's got 10 base 2 AUI, 10 base T, just a 10 meg card. You know, it's ISA. So also bought for the AST because I only have ISA expansion on that. So you have a box of old sound cards. Well, hey, Adam, if you want to get rid of it, let me know. So I got those for the AST. The guy who was selling this stuff, he had a lot of good stuff for really good prices. You know. So on to the computers. So I got 5 different computers. So yeah, you're right, Justin. It probably just is a regular NE2000. Yeah, I mean, it's super generic. There's no jumpers on it that I can tell. So, yeah, any generic driver is probably going to work just fine with this. I could probably even use a 3Com driver with it. They seem to work with just about everything. So, you know. But, you know, once again, just something. I haven't had any ISA cards for years. So yeah, I know I need more computers like a fucking hole in the head. These are all laptops, though. There's no actual big computers. They're all laptops. So the whole pile is right yonder. So this is all of them. So I actually got it. I actually did pretty good. So um, I also got a keyboard for my Mac Pro. Uh, it's a Logitech G15 or something, one of those gaming keyboards with all the buttons on the side and the little flip up LCD and shit. I got that for $5 too at the VCF. So where are the cats? Well, I'll show you. So Simon is up there, just chilling, looking out the window. Simon! He's ignoring me as always. Lydia, the Queen of Darkness, is over there on my desk, staring at me, giving me, why the fuck are you talking about me? And the rest of them are probably asleep in the bedroom. So, those are the only two I have at the moment. And it's kind of nice, to be honest with you, because I don't have anybody jumping on me every 5 seconds. Yes, it is very quiet. Oh God, Adam. Steve needs another fucking image writer too, like a hole in the hair, like a hole in the head. So on to the PC stuff. So this first one I'm going to show you is the only computer I actually got at VCF, but I got all of these computers VCF weekend. So the first one I got is, ironically, another AST. This is an AST Advantage notebook. I got power adapters with none of these, except for one. So these all use barrel jacks, and I need to get some kind of generic AC adapter. So this one was actually kind of donated to me by one of Steve's buddies. So it is a 486 SX13, and it is. I'm pretty sure it's color, but it's going to be passive matrix. It's got this cute little trackball here. The machine is in pretty good shape. It's not too worn out. It's a little dirty, but unfortunately, like I said, I don't have the power adapter for one at this moment. I need to get some kind of generic universal one. So this probably is not a machine that I probably would have bought. But I mean, it was free, so what the hell? A 486 laptop. So it has. Here, I'm gonna put the camera here. So it has a 3.5-inch floppy. Your standard parallel PS2 serial and VGA ports, and there's something here that I don't know if it's actually. I don't know if it's like a docking connector or it doesn't come out very easily. So I think it might just be a dummy base. And then there's a fax modem in it, and then there's the battery. And I think I did check the battery, make sure the battery wasn't screwed up or anything. Oh yeah, so here we go. So it's a 486 SX33. It has, and this is stock, so I mean I don't know if it's been upgraded or not. It had 120 meg hard drive. Oh, it has a monochrome LCD. Okay, so it's grayscale. Floppy drive and 4 megabytes of RAM. And there is a tiny bit of corrosion. Well, there was a tiny bit of corrosion. That's how tiny it was on the battery contact. And this has a NiCad battery. 14.4 volt, 1400 milliamp hour battery. So I could probably rebuild this battery. Um, since it's obviously corroding a little bit. So definitely, like I said, it's definitely not a machine I would have actually like actively purchased. Um, but you know, hey, price was right, so can't bitch. So now these other four machines here I got from Steve. He seemed to feel bad that he had these PCs in his basement. He had no idea what to do with any of them, so he gave them to me. Wow. But they're all really cool machines, and I probably, if I would have seen any of these machines at the VCF consignment sale, I probably would have bought all four of them, except maybe the one. So this is the first one. This is probably the coolest one of them all. This is an HP Omnibook 300. So this was what I guess you could consider one of the very first sub notebooks. It has a black and white screen. It has software, DOS, and Windows built into ROM. It has no hard drive, standard. I mean, you can put one in, um, and it weighs like a pound and a half, if that. And that's with the bat. Well, no, I don't have the battery. So it has two PCMCIA slots here and two more here, which none of them are populated. One of them would have contained either a hard drive or like a flash memory card for storage. But DOS and Windows itself is burned into the ROM. So, and the coolest thing about this, and I wish I had some batteries here, which I need to go get some, is it can actually run. I can get this damn thing out. There we go. So you take this out. So the battery pack fits in here, and it can actually run off of 4 AA batteries. Probably not for the longest amount of time, but seeing as how there's no mechanical hard drive or anything in it, you could probably get an hour or two out of it. I think I left the original battery pack at Steve's house. So, but by far the absolute coolest thing about this laptop is there's a button here that has a little picture of a mouse on it. So when you push this, out pops the mouse. This is the mouse. So, pretty cool little machine. I definitely want to get this one working. Steve and I did try putting some AA batteries in. We still couldn't get any life out of it. But I don't know if it was just the fact that his batteries were no good or what. We didn't really try very hard. So this is definitely a fixer-upper that I definitely want to get working. I've always actually wanted one of these. These are cool little machines. And they're fast. They're actually pretty fast, too, for a 386. So, not rare, but definitely uncommon, to say the least. So, I definitely... This is... Oh, okay. There's a little thing here you can put like a lanyard on, I guess, or like a security strap or whatever. That's kind of cool. So, definitely one of the cooler additions. So, this one here I only took because it was an IBM. It's less batteries than a Game Gear. That's true. So, Steve gave me this because it's an IBM. This is a ThinkPad 600, and it definitely has issues. It does work. I took the battery out. So, it's a Pentium 2, I believe. Like 300 megahertz, if I remember correctly. I can't remember. pretty sure it's Pentium 2. Come on, Betsy. There we go. Yep, Pentium 2. It's definitely been used and abused, and I have no idea what these characters are. They almost look, I don't know. They're not Japanese, I don't think. So, I mean, the machine is actually not in horrible shape. The plastic coat dip shit that IBM used on these things is coming off. It's not sticky though. It's just scraped up really bad. So, um, this is one I'd like to get working simply because I don't really have any Pentium 2 or 3 era computers, and this would be a pretty cool addition to have. It does have a Ultra Bay drive. It is, I think, a CD burner or CD read. Yeah, it's a 24x CD-ROM. And I actually have some of these. I think I have a DVD drive for one of these. IBM uses Ultra Bay for a long time. It has a battery I took out. No hard drive. The hard drive will go in here. There's no hard drive. Just a standard IDE hard drive. Let's see here. So it's got, that's a floppy drive connector there. It has a spot for infrared, but no infrared actually on it. Headphone, microphone, 2 PC card slots, and a docking connector, VGA parallel, PS2, serial, of course power, and there it is. One USB port, one lonely USB port. And I think it has a 14.4 fax modem in it. But this machine actually does sort of work. So I tried a whole bunch of different power adapters here in the house, and I found the one for my Panasonic Thinkpad actually works. But it's giving me an error for a bad fan. So I'm thinking that it's not working properly because it's freezing up because of the fan is shutting itself down. Oh, I guess I should plug this in first, which might help. There we go. I think it has like 64 megs of RAM in it. Oh, it's got 97 megs of RAM, or 98 megs. So this 192 error is a bad fan. So, and the track point does not work for shit. Well, it's actually working better now than it was. A little better. There, that's what the normal boot screen looks like. So, but it keeps giving me this 192 error, which, according to my HMM, my hardware maintenance manual, is a fan error. So, after the second boot, it just hangs here. So, I need to take this apart and take a look inside and see what's going on, because I think it's just locking up because the fan's not running, and the computer's just kind of the processor's just kind of shutting down. So, but it does work. So, you know, we're halfway there. Yeah. So IBM uses this kind of rubberized paint. You can actually buy it nowadays. It's called Plastidip. It's kind of the same thing. So it wears off over time, and you can tell this thing was very well used, for sure. But it's in pretty good shape. I mean, considering how well used it is, it's in pretty good shape. Like I said, the track point doesn't work too hot, so I probably should get a new keyboard for it. Um, but you can definitely see how all this is scratched up. Usually this gets really sticky, and this machine actually is not sticky, surprisingly. Um, it's it's just really scraped and scratched. It sheds stuff everywhere. So now I do have another ThinkPad somewhere of a similar vintage. Where is that? Oh, where is that hunk of shit at? Oh, here it is. That I can actually use for parts somewhat. This one is significantly newer. Um, so I have this newer model. This machine doesn't work at all. This thing is totally hosed. It powers on, but so the I might be. This is a T30. This is a Pentium 4 version. So I might be able to use like the key. I might be able to use a keyboard off of here, and that might be about it. Um, so, and I think the hard drive in this might be the same. So I'm gonna try to kit bash a couple of computers together. So yeah, I think somebody was running some Red Hat on it. So, oh come on, get in there. So this would definitely make a pretty cool like little retro gaming laptop. These have really nice screens on them. So this is definitely an active matrix screen. So ThinkPads typically always use active matrix screens on their color ones. So they were, for the price you paid for them, they tried to give you the premium stuff. So, you know. Well, so that's going to be a revival, for sure. No, I did not get any software. So, I'm not a big software collector for the simple fact that just about anything that I could find, I could probably find online for nothing. I have never been a real big fan of like having original boxes for stuff. I do have some original boxes, but they're all locked up in a closet because I don't really have anywhere to show them off. So I think the big boxes are cool, but yeah, yeah, I love the older IBM ThinkPads, Patrick, myself. So all right, the next one uh, came in a bag, and if anybody can see this, this is an NCR. And yes, NCR used to make, they actually still do, makes computers. So they still make computers, but they're pretty much all for point of sale systems at this point. So, but this one here, this is actually quite light for what it is, and of course it's covered in white hair from Simon sleeping on it. So. So this is an NCR 3200 series laptop with the integrated, it's not integrated, with the add-on trackball. And yes, it is actually supposed to be used inside the case. These are wrist rests here. So you would normally open it up, and there you go. And this mouse actually will come off. So I'm going to pull it out of its case here. So this is a NCR 3150 laptop, and unfortunately I don't have a power adapter for this. So, and this thing is it's a little dirty, but it's in immaculate condition. And it came with the trackball, which just unscrews here. This was actually optional on these machines. Just pulls off, and then you can close this little door here. Just like that. And then you just have a regular old laptop. But it's way cooler with the trackball. So these computers here were, these were at the very beginning of the Windows era, so kind of mice and trackballs were always kind of an afterthought. So, but it's cool. NCR thought of everything. They even made a little cutout here so the door for the trackball port. Whoops, you can't even see that. So the door for the trackball port fits right into the trackball, so it's not like hanging down or anything. Pretty nifty. So this is a 486 class laptop. I don't know exactly what it is. I just know it's a 3150. I think it's a 4633. Has a floppy drive. Of course, your standard serial parallel video. The hard drive is right here, and if you unscrew the screw down here, this whole thing pops out. There's a PS2 port here. It says external keyboard, but I imagine you could probably use a mouse with it. And then there's a dock connector here, and of course, power button right there. And underneath this here, which I didn't realize, is actually a PC MCIA expansion port. So that's kind of cool. It does have the hard drive. I think it's like a 240 meg. And as with most of these NCR machines, the case is starting to crack right here at the hinge. But it's actually very minor. So I'm kind of hoping I can maybe get in there and reinforce this area. So, but this is definitely one I want to get a power adapter for. I'm hoping like how it works. It's a standard barrel jack, but the problem is the center barrel so fucking big that nothing I have here at the house will fit it. So I either need to modify something, or maybe I can change that barrel out. You got an Office 2003 Small Business Edition for $1. Hey, there you go. So, but, so, it's just something, I like NCR stuff, so, might have something to do with the fact that I work for them. So, but the fact that it was in this case is actually kind of cool, because these actually come out. Because you could get this case with the full length wrist rest. So, but this one's got the 2 bits, so you can fit the trackballs. So, yep, definitely going to get that one working. Ooh, Apple works in 3.5 inch. Wow, don't see that very often. Yeah, Richard, I have IBM DOS 3.3, 4, and 5 in boxes. I have a copy of Windows 3.1, and I have Office 4.2 on floppy disks. So, yeah, the bag probably is better designed than the computer. So, now onto the crowning jewel is in this bag. And this is a computer I've always wanted. but never been able to find. So this is Toshiba, and it is a laptop, barely. And believe me, this thing is so freaking heavy. No, older than a T30. No, this is a laptop, not a portable. A T3200 is a portable. This is an actual laptop. It is a T1200. So, this is a 8086 based laptop. So it's an XT based laptop. And it is technically a laptop, even though it weighs about 10 pounds. It is technically a laptop. It does have a battery right here. As a NiCad battery. And it's got your external floppy printer, serial, RGB, which is CGA. It even has a composite output. There's this tiny little thing for a keypad. 720K floppy drive. And down here, even though it does not work, is a 20 megabyte hard drive. So, and then over here is a reset switch. This is for this switch here is for the external floppy. You set it to drive A, drive B, or disable, and then the LCD contrast is here. And then there is the machine. It has a full mechanical keyboard. I think it's mechanical. And the really sad thing is, the battery will actually work. I did charge it up. It did hold a charge, but it must have discharged as it was sitting for a couple days. So let's find an IEC power jack. And this is the only one I actually got the power adapter for. Yeah, you need to tell me I don't have an IEC power plug here. What the hell kind of computer shop is this? There's one. So we can unplug this. And this machine actually somewhat works. Well, did work. And this thing is kind of like the Mac Portable, where it kind of has to have a battery in it for it to work. And for some reason, it's flashing red at me. Up there. Yeah, the battery is flaking out. I did have this thing running. I actually did boot it. It does work. It works great. Um, here's my IBM DOS disk I was using to boot it. Not sure what's going on with it now. But this also uses a NiCad battery pack, which I think I'm just going to rebuild. There it goes. Well, there it went. Yeah, so it's acting up now, but so it's in really, really good shape, with the exception of the fact the hard drive's not working. And I'm not sure if it's the hard drive that's not working, or if it's the fact that there isn't enough juice in the battery to spin the hard drive up. Because this power adapter only puts out, I think, 2.5 amps, so which might not be enough to actually spin up the hard drive in this thing. And the bad thing is it has a proprietary hard drive. It's a very proprietary hard drive. No other computer ever made uses it. It's made by JVC. Um, but I've always wanted one of these machines. These are really cool machines, and I've actually been looking at another one of these on eBay. So they made two versions. They made this version with just a Super Twist LCD, which is non-backlit, and then they made a backlit model as well. And you can tell the difference by the size of the hump here. The backlit model has a much bigger hump on it, and there's actually one for sale on eBay, really cheap, as is, that I would love to just get just for the screen. I think that would be just totally awesome to have a backlit Toshiba laptop. So they're doing the memory test. And it throws a disk controller failure. But it will boot. Yeah. Let's try rebooting it because I didn't have the floppy disk in. There it goes. These screens are actually very easy to read. It's just the camera doesn't pick it up too well. There we go. We're in DOS. And it works really well. It's actually a 7 megahertz 8086 that you can reduce to 4.77 megahertz. You can run Windows 7. No, not hardly. It would be kind of cool to see if it could run Windows 1.1, though. You can run anything on this that's made for an XT class machine. So, I don't know about playing games on it, though, because I don't think the refresh on the screen is really fast enough to handle a game or anything. But, I mean, they weren't really made for that. They were made for, it's a business machine. So, but it's kind of hard to tell. But it is actually an 80 by 40 display. Um, so it's just condensed. So, but it's very easy. I mean, see, the camera's glaring really bad, but the screen is actually very easy to read. I mean, I'm sitting at an angle like this, and I can read everything on that screen perfect. So, but I'm sure I could play some games on it that don't have a lot of action, you know, like Monopoly or Jeopardy. So, but yeah, this is, and the battery actually, I had it running off the battery for about 5 minutes yesterday, and it actually does charge barely. So, this is definitely one I'm going to restore. I definitely want to get that hard drive working because I have no other way of replacing that hard drive. The hard drive and the floppy drive are both proprietary, unfortunately. So, uh, but so there's the T1200, and so this does have one issue. There's supposed to be some plastic nubs down here that push these little plastic locks in that hold the screen in place, and they are broken. So closing the screen is a bit of a challenge, which is another reason I'd like to get another machine to use for parts. So, I mean, it's really yellow, so I might actually try. You know, you can tell how different, like this hinge here is compared to the rest of the case. So, but yeah, this is one I'm definitely going to be restoring because I've always wanted one of these machines. They're so freaking cool. I like Toshiba laptops, period, to be honest with you. Oh, Windows versions suck. Yeah, well, you would say that, Jay. Yeah, I wouldn't really call Windows 8.1 a failure. It just wasn't exactly what it should have been. Windows 8.1 does definitely suck, though. Ah. So, but this came in the case as well, which is almost required because this thing weighs like 10 or 12 pounds. Oh, and there's something else. Oh, serial cable. Gave me a serial cable. So, so that's the stuff that I got while I was in New Jersey. And T1000 has DOS and ROM. Yeah, I wish this had. I wish it had DOS and ROM. That'd be cool. So, time is at 3:30. So I've been doing this for an hour. Kind of want to take this apart. See if I can get it to boot. Sort of. Uh, so, let's see if we can get. Whoops. The Thinkpad 600 apart. And in typical IBM fashion, they actually have little arrows pointing to the little plastic covers that you need to take off. I'm so glad they quit doing these on later machines. These are such a pain in the ass. So if I take these out, this should give me access to the uh, Should give me access to the logic board. I lost my one screwdriver. I have no freaking idea where the hell it went. Somehow along the line, my compact screwdriver disappeared. There we go. Oh, they did remove the requirement of having the TPM 2.0 to run Windows 11. Oh, I guess they were getting a little too much backlash over that, which isn't terribly surprising. That was kind of a dumb thing. Well, Garth, you're probably going to be waiting a while because Microsoft doesn't release Windows updates all that fast. If they do the free upgrade thing like they did with Windows 10, I might try it on this machine here because this machine definitely has enough power to run it. So, yeah. The screws in there. Yeah. Yeah, Windows or Microsoft seems to run on about a 5-year cycle on average, it seems. Alright, so those screws should have allowed me to get the keyboard out. I hope. Maybe not. Alright. So let's take the Ultra Bay, hard drive cover, and I guess we'll just remove the rest of these screws here. Whoa. Well, that was unintended. Guess we'll have to fix that. Yep. It's been a very long time since I took one of these apart. I've never actually done a 600. Alright. This should be everything. Yay! Jay, you say that for everything. Pretty sure there's a screw in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. These definitely weren't made to be user serviceable. All right. There we go. Okay. What do we got going on here? So, here is the heat pipe for the processor. So yeah, it should be in here. I'm going to have to take the whole processor card out. Hey everybody. Yeah, now it comes off. Well, fan spins normally. It is filthy in here. Oops. Alright, where are you at? There you are. Well, that's true. This isn't filthy, but I've definitely seen worse. Whoa. Well, fan definitely is not working. And I got no power here either. Well, on these machines, typically, the fan would just run all the time, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong, but my experience with a lot of these older laptops, not just IBMs, but they typically don't. They typically always spin at one speed. They don't really have like a speed control. So I'm going to try plugging the processor card in. Maybe. It's always easier said than done. There we go. Yeah, I've never worn a wrist strap, to be honest with you. Okay, well the processor is definitely getting warm. So, but the fan is still not running. So I don't know if there's a logic board problem. But there's no power. Yeah, there's absolutely no power to the fan header here. So that would definitely be something to have to research. There you go, Adam. Yeah, it doesn't seem to have any power to the fan. Seems to be the underlying issue. So I will have to get my hardware maintenance manual and see what IBM says about that. Because that is definitely a problem, especially on a Pentium 3. These things run hotter than Hades. So it makes perfect sense why the system is shutting down, because they did actually build thermal overload protection into these processors back in these days, thankfully. Oops. Well, that's nice. That was stripped out. Which would also help if I put the screws in the right spots. Like the idiot that I am. Well, if I had a way of putting a fan on it, I mean, I could live with the 194 error or 197 error saying the fan's not working. I mean, if I could figure out a way I could power the fan from just anywhere in this computer, I mean, it would work. And it wouldn't go into thermal shutdown. Jay has too many G4s. Water cooling solves everything. Yes, water cooling does actually solve a multitude of issues. Unfortunately, water cooling also causes a multitude of issues, as is evidenced by most of the quad-core G5s. Oh, crap. Oh, there it is. Oh, pizza. Sounds like a dinner. I am probably going to have a sub for dinner. Yeah, water cooling is not always the answer. If you do it properly, yes, water cooling can be a very effective solution. Where is the fucking screw for this? Well, oh, I got all kinds. I didn't get any Macs, unfortunately. Unfortunately, all the Macs that I saw at VCF were already models that I already had many of. Most of them were G4s, which I'm sorry to say, I definitely do not need another freaking G4. I have a large number of those already. Uh, but I got a couple PC laptops. I already went through everything. I hate these fucking keyboards. I barely saw any at them, so I can't say if they were or were not overpriced. The only ones that I ever ran across were some G4s, and they were actually priced pretty reasonably at about $50. There were a bunch of Macs, and I seen there were actually a bunch of Macs at. Whoops, what's that? I definitely would have liked to have gotten, but yeah, unfortunately, my timing was not the best, which sucks because there were actually a couple of machines I wouldn't have minded having. Yeah, this is definitely true. Collecting Macs is a gateway to a very full basement, and unfortunately, I don't have a basement. So, and I actually have a friend of mine. He lives in Philadelphia, not Sean, uh, who actually is willing to, who would like to donate his collection to me at some point in time. And he has kind of gotten out of it in his older age. So I'm trying to talk him into allowing me access to some of the machines that he does have. And if that comes to fruition, then I will definitely have more than enough content to last me probably the rest of my natural life. As I'm willing to bet he's got at least one of everything. At least most machines. Who's bought a damaged 2CI just for the lid? Problem is 2CIs go for stupid money, even busted ones. I don't understand what the hell everybody's obsession with the damn 2CI is. I mean, it's a good machine, don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't think it's worth the price that some of them are asking. I mean, I hate to say it, but for the price that some people ask that want for like a 2CI, I would rather have a Quadra 700. Because sometimes you can buy a Quadra 700 for about the same price. I've seen people asking $400 or $500 for 2CIs. And I just don't think that's a justifiable price. I don't care what kind of condition it's in. Yeah. You know what they say, there's a sucker born every minute. Alright, see you, Garth. Take care, bud. Alright. All those in. Right there. Whoops. If I had a Quadra 700, it would be permanently connected on the desk as well. I had a Quadra 700 for many, many years. I loved that machine. It was a great machine. I wish I still had it. Of course, there's a lot of things I wish I still had. Like my 2FX, not my 2C, my 2, Quadra 700, my 512KE. You know, and there's zillions of machines I wish I still had. I don't care about the hair as much. I'm not really a vain person, so. Alright, well, so much for that. I've done that too, Adam. Don't feel bad. So, well, that is that for the day. Actually, that's what happens with me, Michael. My hair all migrated to my back. No, thank you. I am curious. Oh God, this fucking website is just so much like Apple's. Oh my lord. Windows 11 specs and requirements. So, to run Windows 11, your device must be running Windows 10 version 2004 or later to upgrade. Free updates are available through Windows Update settings/update and security. So you need a 1 gigahertz or faster, 2 or more, 6-compatible 64-bit processor, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigs or larger, system firmware, UEFI secure boot capable, TPM, Trusted Platform Module version 2.0. Graphics card compatible with DirectX 12. Yeah. Wonder if I have a TPM2 on this machine. Let's find out. Oh, it says you have to have TPM 2.0. I don't think this machine does. Device Manager. That's what I'm looking for. Oops. I have no idea what all these damn base system devices are. I don't even think this thing has a TPM in it at all. Which actually makes no sense, seeing as how this is a high-end workstation. What's under here? I don't even think this has a TPM in it. Huh. Well, shit. No, I don't think Windows 11 will work on your 5150, Thomas. Well, usually in the device manager, it'll show you if you have a TPM installed. Most computers that have shipped in the last 5 years are capable of running TPM version 2.0. Well, my computer shipped in the last 5 years. All right. So, following Microsoft's instructions, it says compatible TPM cannot be found. So it may not be, it's either not turned on or it's not here. And of course, I'm not going to reboot the computer and go into the BIOS just to find out. Not in the middle of the stream. Huh. Well, I guess I'm not going to be running Windows 11. Not that I really wanted to run Windows 11 to begin with. I'm just surprised. I mean, this computer's only about it's 5 years old. It was sold in 2016, so no, I'm not installing Windows 11 on the stream. Yeah, I'm not really. I mean, I'd like to play with Windows 11 just for experience because I do computer work on the side, and I do need to try to keep up to date with versions of Windows and whatnot. Simply because Windows does dominate the market for everything. So you know, I'm guessing it's probably disabled in the BIOS on this machine as well. So yeah, that's true, Sam. I could do that. I mean, I do have Parallels on my Mac Pro, so I might try just installing it on there. I mean, I have a copy of Windows 10 over there. I know I never use it. I use Windows 7 on my Mac using Parallels. So for the very few times that I need to get into Windows, I I find it's just easier to use Parallels. I don't have Boot Camp or anything on there, which is fine because Parallels does it with that machine over there. I mean, it's got so much power that Parallels is just as fast as boot camping it. And the really cool thing about Parallels is the Mac and Windows run at the same time, so I can actually drag and drop between the two, and it's just so seamlessly integrated. It's really freaking awesome. So, but I think at this point in time, I am going to call it a day. Core i5 8th gen. Well, I mean, according to what people were saying, at least an 8th gen processor should run it. Yeah, Patrick, I think Parallels is much superior to boot camping. The only reason I could think that I would want to boot camp a machine is to utilize the extreme full potential of the computer for games or something to that extent, which I don't play PC games. So, um, and to be honest with you, if I wanted to play PC game, I'll use this computer. This computer's got I mean, this is a 12 core Xeon for Christ's sakes with 32 gigs of RAM and an NVIDIA Quadro in it. I think this could play just about anything I could want to throw at it. So, but on that note, I think I'm going to end for the day. I am getting hungry. I haven't eaten anything. I need to get some food. So, I'm going to call it quits here. And I want to thank everybody for coming. Um, it was fun as always. And yeah, I'll do that, Justin. So, because I'm just curious, because I do, like I said, I do need to try to keep up on top of Windows, even though I don't really use it. This is the only computer I use Windows on. I actually am starting to get into Linux on my Lenovo over behind my desk. I installed Zorn OS on that, and to start playing around with some Linux. So, so everybody have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Uh, I'm sure I'll be back sometime. So on that note, have a wonderful day.